Call it a short medley.
Oh, Scotty.
Yes.
Bring it down to this level, please.
This level.
This level. And thank you for listening to the Something Random podcast, where sometimes we talk about movies, sometimes we talk about television, we always talk about something random. I am your host, Charles Joseph Kelly.
And, I am your co-host, Mikeal C. Macbeth.
And I'm your co-host, Scotty Schaefer.
Hi, I'm your other co-host, Joel Adam Chavez.
That was too loud, Joel.
Now, guys.
I'd like to change mine to...
Oh, Scotty, down to this level. I'd like
to change mine to I'm your host.
Coco host.
Scotty Schaefer.
I like this level. I have a little bit less sleep than I should have right now. I'm a little bit more angry. I need some zen. So this is the level where I want the entire podcast to be. So
and this is perfect. You know, I just learned about ASMR.
Mikeal, what did I just say? Bring it down to this level. Thank you.
I just learned about ASMR as a trend.
What is that, arms?
No.
It's like, you know those tingly feels when you get like really good audio? And it's just like,
on my arms?
Gosh. No, just like in your body. It's like a audio orgasm.
But on your arms.
Yeah. On your arms and in other places.
So this, and we can make some rustling sounds and some...
Let's not do that because that sounds like a nightmare.
Dookie.
So now that this bit is kind of overplayed at this point, what have you guys been watching this week? Has there been anything going on that you guys want to talk about?
Yes, indeedioso. Many of us watched the first episode of the new season of American Horror Story. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to what the heck is going to happen, as I am with every first episode, because you can't always tell what the direction a season is going.
Yeah, the show usually starts out really well and just turns to shit by the end. So I'm going to wait until it's done with before I even spend any time with it.
Yeah, binge it.
What is this season about so far?
We don't quite know yet. It opens with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton clips before the election, and people being afraid of Donald Trump getting elected and Hillary Clinton getting elected. And people are saying that it's one-sided, but I don't think it is, because as someone in the middle, not to get too political, I did see a lot of both sides being a little made fun of, for lack of a better term. But
okay.
It's and
so equal opportunity.
Yeah, and so not only that, but there's the Sarah Paulson's character is a liberal who's basically afraid of Donald Trump, but she has an intense fear of clowns and many other things, things with holes in them.
Scotty.
What have I seen?
Yes.
What I did watch was the new Star Trek Discovery trailers again, because the show hasn't come out yet, but I'm starting to let myself get really excited about this.
I am so hit or miss on this show, and I hope it's good.
Me too.
As like somebody who always sees Star Trek better than Star Wars, I want this to be good, but the fact that it's rated M is really scary, because that hasn't been done in a Star Trek show before.
Well, I could argue that.
Okay, argue.
Okay, I would say that yes, but maybe. The Deep Space Nine story arcs, which were ahead of their time.
You know what?
Ahead of their time.
You're right.
It was binge-worthy TV before you could binge it. You had to just tune in and grab all the reruns and stuff. It was very difficult to do, which is why the show didn't do very well.
Right. I hope it's good. I mean, the fact that also that they're playing fast and loose with the main character, who is Spock's sister.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's like adopted sister, but I don't know how I feel about this. But that's like a huge thing that has never been like, oh yeah, and Spock and his sister, Deborah.
Well, Deborah. I mean, they did do that, of course, with Star Trek V.
Yeah, that's true.
All of a sudden, he has a brother, and I was like, according to the animated series, as his child, there was no pictures on his family's mantle of a brother. No. I will just point that out.
Anybody else have anything? That
Oh
they...
yeah, perfect segue. I haven't finished the pilot episode of The Orville.
Did you?
I did.
I
yeah.
want to watch that.
It looks promising. I mean, of course, I'm a huge Seth MacFarlane. There it is. I can't pronounce names.
Oh, there it is!
Don't worry, I'll
It's
help you out
back.
here. I think it's pronounced Seth.
Thank you.
Seth is a hard
That's
name to
what it was.
pronounce.
But yeah, it shows promise. Obviously it's a pilot episode, and so they're just trying to intro the characters and try to draw you in. But I'm still excited, tentatively excited about that show. So that, and I watched some roller derby this week.
Live?
Okay.
Yeah,
Sweet, where'd
live.
you see that?
Live casting.
I
of,
would have never expected you to say that, but okay.
I know the reason behind it, so I expected this to happen.
Is it Mitch?
Yes. Yeah, it's
Mitch,
Mitch.
yeah. Awesome.
So they got second in the playoffs.
Out of what? Like out of Colorado or like out of the nation?
No, they played Stockholm, Sweden first.
What? World Championships?
Well, the World Championships haven't happened yet. This was just the playoffs. But yes, they played against Stockholm, and then they played against London, and then Gotham City is the team that is undefeated, based in New York. And they did not quite beat them.
I would have argued that Gotham City is Chicago. Your thoughts? I'm just kidding. It's
No,
random.
Gotham is New Jersey. Absolutely.
Oh!
Yeah, and then Metropolis is definitely New York City.
I'm an idiot. Of course it's New Jersey. I guess, does New Jersey have skyscrapers? Though, do they? What is it, Newark?
I mean, like, it's Gotham. It doesn't actually exist, so sure.
I don't know who you are or what you've
Hi,
done
my
with
name
CJ,
is-
but I want him back.
Hi, my name is Charles. I have two things, and I want to know what you guys want to talk about first.
Okay.
Number one is my terrible movie of the week, Batman and Robin.
Oh, that's right.
And the next one is BoJack Horseman, which I'm finishing up.
Ooh, let's talk about Batman and Robin first.
All right. Okay, do you guys have any questions about Batman and Robin first?
Bad as you remember?
Not as bad as I remember.
Okay.
What year did it come out? 93?
I don't
No, I
remember.
think it was later than
Yeah,
that.
it
I think
was
it was
later.
like 98 or
Oh, it
90,
must have been 98, yeah.
98 maybe.
All right, I'm gonna be positive about this film.
Okay.
They had a lot of intriguing concepts that they wanted to get across, like for instance, having somebody dealing with an uncurable disease, having family problems, the issues between Batman and Robin, like all these different aspects, having a villain who is understandable for what he's doing. And they had all these interesting concepts behind it, but how they executed anything was just absolutely horrendous. So,
As in, it would be a better book.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
comic
it would've-
book.
Yeah, comic book.
No, I don't think it would be a good comic book either. I mean, it takes all those things and
A
just makes
Watchmen
it.
style graphic novel, perhaps?
Oh no. I think they just took all these different topics that they wanted to discuss in this film and made it all superficial and really didn't like jump into what actually make those stories work. And it's just the common problem, and it's just the dialogue is terrible. Like I was joking about it. I was like, every single line that they fed Arnold Schwarzenegger was stupid cold puns, and I can't.
Right. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I love puns, but it's just it was
Over
too
and over,
much.
yeah.
Every line.
Was this back when he
kick
was...
some ice.
A chill.
The Iceman cometh.
Was this back when Arnold was still getting like paid per line or something, where they had
Probably.
to like really squeeze every dollar out of like
I'm
$1 million
sure,
a line?
but
or
it was
something?
bad, and it's just like, all right, why is the dialogue written like this? There's some other dialogue that
Because it's cool.
it's Ice. See what you did there.
Okay, that's
Which,
enough.
Ice Sea. What is it? The Baltic?
which, like you said, I mean, Mr. Freeze, it makes it unfortunate because Mr. Freeze is one of the best villains in the Batman universe because he's so human and he actually has a reason for what made him what he is, and it's understandable. He wants to save his wife.
I can see that.
Yeah, Michael and I were editing all day and he was listening to everything, and he's like, Uma Thurman's not too bad in this film, and I was like, that's saying a lot for this whole thing because everybody's pretty much terrible.
Who were the bad guys now? And he was Iceman and
Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
Bane.
And
Bane.
Bane is a stupid
But
thug.
Bane's like a throwaway character.
Well, no, Bane's the throwaway character,
that one, yeah.
and he has the best one-liners. So everybody will say something, and he'll be like, honey. I just like repeat one word out of the sentence that doesn't really
Like Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
Honey.
Yeah, because that was my first interaction with Bane, and then when The Dark Knight came out, I was like, what?
Did you have
And
any
then obviously
other
I fell up.
bad things about it? Or
Oh, I mean, like, if we were to talk about bad things about the film, we could talk about the entire
a
film.
couple hour long show.
Yeah. There's just a lot of like decisions that they made in the film that were really weird. Like early on, they were in the weird rocket ship, Mr. Freeze's rocket ship that was soaring out into the sky and it was going to blow up or something like that and cause damage to. But they still blew it up. I don't know why, what the issue was going to be there. But they jumped out after they set off a bat bomb, which, by the way, Batman makes bombs specifically that look like bats. The amount of time that he put into that, he could probably just make it just like a normal shape and have it blow up.
I'm sure it is a machine shop with a whole bunch of bat-shaped things, and you just shove things into them. That's
It's
Absolutely.
like, who cares what
Mass
shape it
produced.
is? Because it's going to blow up, dude.
Right.
But no,
So,
brand
but
recognition. Come on.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
you want pieces to hit the bad guys. You want the bat shrapnel, or if I may, batinol.
So when they
You want them to know who it came from.
Exactly. But when they left the shuttle thing, they skateboarded down on the emergency doors. But there was no reason for them to do that. Like, there was one shot where Robin hit the top of a roof and like surfed down it for a second. But besides from that, there was no reason for them to have weird skateboards. But there was
Legolas
another
showboating.
There was another scene where
That's a good way to put
Batman jumps through a window, grinds skateboard-wise down a dinosaur.
Oh, you did say something about he was grinding a dinosaur.
He
I wasn't
grinded
sure
down
what
a
you meant.
dinosaur, and they didn't use that for that scene. It happened beforehand. And I was like, all right, come on. If you're going to do like skateboard stuff, do it. So, and then the other one was BoJack Horseman. And I'll talk about
Yeah,
this for like
please.
2 seconds. I highly recommend the show if you like comedy and you also want to deal with your depression and actually deal with it, because they have severe conversations about where depression comes from.
Really?
I can't recommend it enough.
Now,
It
and
is-
is this a Netflix show? Or
it's a Netflix show.
Okay.
Will Arnett plays alcoholic horse.
I love Will Arnett.
Paul M. Tompkins plays a dog, a golden retriever named Mr. Peanut Butter. Allison Brie plays Mr. Peanut Butter's girlfriend.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's what I watched. So hey guys, who would you play in a biopic based on your life?
Who would we play, or who would play us?
Shut.
Well, I'd like to answer the first question.
No, no,
I
no.
would,
Start again.
I would play the announcer at the hotel saying, "Mr. Herman, paging Mr. Herman."
That's a good one. But the real question is, who would play you in a biopic based on your life?
Who would play me?
Well, when I was younger and thinner, and this was before the Big Bang Theory, I would have liked Johnny Galecki to play me.
Oh,
This was before he got hugely popular with Big Bang Theory. We looked alike. We had similar hair. We're about the same age.
like the Roseanne days. I could see that.
Yes. And I don't know. That was always what this is not the first time I've thought about this. I was like, yeah. But now I'm heavy and he is thinner. So I don't know if that would work.
Well, I mean, there's ways around that.
Sure.
They're
Fat
doing
suits.
that. Yeah, they're doing that with what's his face for the one movie. That's great.
I
Great.
think you're.
What's
I think
his
you mean
name
what's
from
his
that
bucket,
one?
not
What's
what's
his,
his face.
yeah, sorry.
That's interesting. I think that I would be played by Owen Wilson. I know everybody jokes. Wow. But he. Oh.
I think what you mean is.
Get it out of your system.
Okay. Let's on the count. We've got 10 seconds on the clock to do as many wows as we possibly can.
wow off.
Ready?
Wow.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Wow. And then Christopher Lloyd just for fun. Whoa.
3, 2, 1, and we're done.
Okay.
Marty!
Well, no, but just I don't know. I think that he has obviously dealt with depression, and so have I. Well, I like actually all his work, even the stuff just to pay the bills and stuff. But his early things and his character development, I just really like that kind of stuff. I think that he was as misunderstood as an early actor as I was in college. I think that'd play off really well, actually. He'd have to probably go darker with his hair, but I had long hair in college too. It looked like Jesus.
Yeah, I've seen those pictures, Scotty.
When I was cat sitting for you, I saw more of them.
Oh, did you?
When I first saw that photo, I thought it was a Photoshop.
Did you
Not
really?
gonna lie.
It's very Kenny G.
It was very Kenny G or Weird Al. I got too.
Yeah, so Weird Al Yankovic could play you.
Oh my god, it probably could.
Or Kenny G.
Well, I'm not old enough.
Maybe it's like a Mr. McGorium's Wonder Emporium kind of situation.
Okay, yes, and then I want Johnny Depp to play me at one point too. That could work. It's interesting to think about actors older than you playing you in a biopic, probably about your past.
I'm kind of torn. I was sort of thinking, but again, I was thrown off because Joaquin Phoenix. But I love him as an actor, but also respect him because he's one of the only Hollywood actors I know of who has a cleft lip. And so there's that connection. But
Cheech Marin is the other one I think of.
Oh, okay.
But he old and Mexican.
But again, when what you were saying about kind of going closer to your own age, my other thought would be Sean Astin.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, closer to your age?
Closer, not insanely close. It really depends. I mean, yeah.
We just all learned that Michael Macbeth is nearing 40 years old.
Sean Astin's got to be
Actually,
secret.
I was Sean Astin crossed my mind too for me, just because he's kind of a roly-poly dude, you know.
Sean Astin is 56 years old.
56.
No kidding.
Me.
Oh, sorry, 46. I lied. I'm sorry, 46.
46. Well,
Still,
46.
Yeah, 46.
Because I know that he, even when Goonies came out, he was older than me when that came out.
Sean Astin is going to be in season 2 of Stranger Things.
I'm so
my gosh.
excited.
Oh my gosh. It's
right.
going to be amazing.
All right, now let's get back to the conversation at hand. Mine, the most realistic one, probably Michael Cera. I mean, come on, look at me. Let's be real.
Michael Cera's realistic, yes.
Yes.
You don't have curly hair.
He would have short hair. He'd have to cut his
He'd
hair.
have to cut his hair.
He would have to scalp himself with a straight razor.
If I were to, that's a story for another day. All right, no, we're gonna tell it on the podcast because this is my podcast. I will tell whatever story I want to tell.
Shoot.
So the last time I cut my hair was by myself. I didn't have Jesse do it. Jesse, if you're listening to this podcast, my hairstylist, I apologize profusely for cutting my own hair, but I have had clippers. Now, when I use my clippers, I just do straight buzz, right? I just go down and it's just done, right? Mm-hmm. So first swipe, stopped halfway through, clippers broke.
So you know.
So now I have what is referred to as the anti-mohawk, which is just the one strip down the center.
So I'm going to stop you right there. You two, can you please tell me if you found yourself in this situation, what would you do?
Probably get another pair of clippers and finish the job.
Put on a hat, go to the store, get another pair of clippers.
Get a pair of clippers.
Okay.
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm glad that you guys didn't, because this is a much more entertaining story than that.
Okay.
So I look and I'm freaking out because I have to work in 20 minutes. It was really quick. I thought it was going to be done.
You don't have time to put on a hat and go to
No,
the store.
no. Yeah,
you have time to put on a hat. I mean,
you have
they
time,
claim it's for the
which
hat.
I did after this. So I didn't have any razors, like any just normal razors. I have my straight razor, which I used to shave.
Straight razor, like we're talking
Sweeney
like
Todd style.
Sweeney Todd style.
Yikes.
Okay.
So slowly but surely,
That's what you shave with?
a straight razor, yeah, because I'm
Old school?
I'm super badass.
But you only have like 4
For what?
That's because he's...
hairs on your face.
I know. That's
he
why I
uses
don't
a
have
straight
to
razor.
actually, yeah, exactly. It's such a smooth shave.
right.
Also, can't grow facial hair. Also, body hair out of control. It is
You're among
it
friends.
is nightmare fuel when you look anywhere below the shirt.
Oh, I bet I've got you beat.
So my other one that I would choose, kind of more comedically, I would hire Charlie Day to play me in my biopic.
Oh my
It's
God! Charlie Day!
Because there'd be a second character named Charlie Kelly.
So guys, what topics and themes would you like movies and television to tackle, and which ones are overplayed? It's kind of a big question.
This is going to be kind of a serious conversation, I think, guys. We're not going to be able to make as many dick and fart jokes this time around.
Dick and fart jokes.
I love them.
Overplayed, superheroes. Superheroes and anything where the plot, where the thing in danger, the moment of truth, literally the world hangs in the balance. That's overdone. Because where can you go from there? At this point, if we lose Saturn, scientifically, I'm hurt, but I'm not like more scared than I am of just the Earth dying.
Well,
like,
yeah, and I mean, like,
bigger than...
in the Avengers movies, anything like that, when you have too high of stakes, those stakes don't matter at that point because nothing's gonna happen.
Especially in Guardians of the Galaxy, because all of them are basically invincible.
Well, I mean, like, there just needs to come to a point. I don't mean to jump off the subject, but I mean, when you have the MCU, when you have all of those, if I may, thousands of characters, you need to start killing them off like crazy. That is how you get people to care about it. Be like, oh my God, I'm afraid to watch the new Thor movie. What if this is when they kill Thor? Whatever.
$10 says that they're going to be doing that in the next Avengers movie because most of the cast has their contracts up.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But I mean, they're not even putting the Defenders in the Civil War. I mean, in the whatever it is, they already did Civil War, but you know the real one. Yeah. Anyway, but to answer the first question then, or the first part of that question, which one would I like to see have them tackle versus Overplayed? Instead of going so hugely huge, the Earth is in danger again. Let's do small stuff again, kind of along the lines of what you're talking about, BoJack Horseman. I want to see more very personal struggles with mental illness. I would love to see some of those things. And not only that, I think actors would be like, there is some meat in those kinds of roles to really tackle that stuff, to show these personal battles that people go through with depression, with anxiety.
One thing that I really, really hate in television is when a character has depression and everybody's like, aw, that's okay, we still love you. Because that shit doesn't happen. That shit doesn't happen in real life. Because there's more times than not people who, when you try to explain, this is how I feel, they're like, that feeling doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. And I want to see more of that.
Or they'll say, here's a hotline you can call, but I need you to be at work at 8 a.m.
Right. And we talked about this last week, right? Where I want to see... Was it last week? It was last week.
Yeah, it was last week.
I don't know what you're going to say.
Where I want to see people with mental illness, people with disabilities who aren't 100% shown as like some weird savant in some specific thing. I want to see these people who have bipolar, who have disabilities, just try to live a normal life. And that's so much more interesting than seeing a guy who's on the spectrum who also can solve murders and shit. I'm tired of that.
I see what you're saying. That's like... That I want to see that too, but I'm afraid to, like, it's okay to have depression and also not be good at anything. like yeah, you don't have to be.
That is literally what BoJack Horseman is about.
Yeah,
where he's just like struggling with the fact that I've got this problem, it's never going to be fixed. I can't fill this empty hole in my heart, and now I have to live. Should I commit suicide? Should I not commit suicide?
Geez, really?
It gets deep.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch that show.
And
all right.
I think that
anyway, that's my answer.
I think that discussions and all the nonsense on Facebook these days and stuff, they would go a lot better if people were more in tune with I feel type statements.
I agree.
And the media, the movies and the TV that we watch greatly influence how we interact with each other.
I think something that's overplayed on television, and I'm probably going to get comments about this, but does Law and Order still really need to be on?
Yes, exactly.
How many years has it been
on?
And how many different versions of it are there? I mean, I'm not just talking Law and Order. There's the CSIs and those shows are interesting and fun, and I understand that people like them and stuff, but I don't know. I just think there's way too many of them.
Way too many.
And, hey, I enjoy watching them too, but god dang, there's a lot of them and they've been on forever.
Yeah.
So you know how...
Lie to Me could have been a very quick mini-series, I'm sure.
So you know how I said earlier that I wasn't going to make any dick and fart jokes?
Yes.
Did you lie? I made a Law and Order dick joke. Dick Wolf.
Yes.
Coyote.
What would I like to see more of is definitely, personal traumas, not even trauma, just day-to-day trauma, as in mental illness, addiction, that kind of thing, portrayed in a realistic way. It's often sugar-coated, I think, or way overdone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm one of those people, I really don't like it when people say, oh, I'm feeling ADD today, or I'm so ADD, or I'm so OCD, or I'm so this, or I'm so that. You know what? It's not a term that should be thrown around that way. And I think that people, and I'm not saying like it's on PC or whatever. People aren't using it in the right way.
No.
And like if you look at the movie As Good as It Gets, which is one of my very favorite movies.
Greg Kinnear.
That's Jack Nicholson's character, who's an obsessive compulsive. Yeah, he packs his bag nice and he puts things in order and he flips the light switch on and off. There's so much more to it than that. And that movie actually does a really good job of it. But when people go, oh, I'm OCD, I like my pictures to hang straight. That's not what OCD is. And I think if we had more shows and movies that showed things like that, ADHD and whatever the hell else, Alzheimer's and Asperger's and all kinds of things that are involved in more and more people's lives, and people would understand things more and not throw around terms like, I'm so ADHD today, or I'm so hyperactive, you know?
Well, and not to disagree with you, because I totally do agree with you, but all of those things do have different levels of severity.
Absolutely,
and
yes.
So I think, you're talking about dealing with depression. I truly feel that every single one of us, on some level, has dealt with depression. Not to an extreme necessarily, but certainly there are moments,
Yes, I think, okay, so this is a conversation where we're going to be, hi, my name is Dr. Charles Kelly, and with me is Dr. Scotty Schaefer. Scotty, please tell me a little bit about depression versus being depressed.
That is a very important distinction to make, because I think that all of us here have absolutely dealt with some sort of depression, but it is important to mention when you're looking at depression or any mental illness as a spectrum, that some people think, oh, well, I stubbed my toe or I got fired once and I was sad, so I know what you're going through and you need to tough that out. That kind of mentality, that shit can't fly.
I read something on Twitter, and I'm so done with social media nowadays. But this guy's like, you know what? People who have depression, people who have anxiety, that kind of stuff, they're full of shit. They just need to work out. They need to eat right. They need to do all these things.
Well,
everything's going to be good.
Eat right, work out. What was the other one?
Do more things.
Do more things.
That's
good stuff.
We just revolutionized.
Don't solve depression, guys.
Yeah, you can't just go and tell, hey, let's go have a cup of Java. But you can't just do that. You don't turn it off that way.
Yeah,
that is a consistent problem within the media, because people feel that way, and it's it's understandable that people feel that way because they haven't felt like that before. Mm-hmm. They don't understand how depression feels, kind of like. For me, I like saying like white noise. It feels like nothing. It feels like nothingness. So it's not just, oh, I'm sad today. No, it's nothingness. But that's on my side of things. But everybody else feels it in a different way, and it's hard to visualize. And then, like I said, understandable for people who have not experienced this in their lives to not understand what other people are going through.
Interesting. I'd like to talk about this further, but let's move on.
This is very good. This is very good discussion we're having. All right. I do have
what was that again?
I don't know. It was just a.
It was good.
It was like a mixture between Bill Cosby and it was like if Bill Cosby was on an episode of Downton Abbey.
Yes, quite. Okay, I do have a 6 degrees of separation.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
For you.
Bring it on.
That I'd like to throw out.
Yeah, while you're looking that up, let's go over the rules.
First of all, there has to be 6. Wait, no, I'm wrong already.
It does not have to be 6. It has to be less than 6 degrees.
6 or less.
6 degrees or less.
You have to know the name of the actor. You have to know the name of the movie that they're in. Mm-hmm. You have to do this in less than 6 degrees. You can use television, but they have to be in the same episode.
So you can say the name of the character, but it's not as important as you have to have the name of the actor themselves.
Yes.
So I can't say that guy from Poltergeist.
Yeah, you cannot say that shit.
And we discussed last week that somebody connected through 2 different episodes of the same TV show. So that's possible as well.
But it takes up
count?
it takes up a degree.
It better take up a degree because you can just pick one of the regulars in the show. Yeah.
So my biggest concern is with the rules that we have right now, we're probably going to have to make this a little bit more difficult for ourselves soon, because I think there's only one time where we haven't solved it. So we should probably set some more rules upon ourselves. But let's not do that this week.
Well, when I had to choose it, I was just thinking of something that was fun, and it turns out y'all guessed it in like 2 people, and it sucked.
Now, because it's the week of 9/11, I decided to go with former New York firefighter who assisted in 9/11, Steve Buscemi.
Oh, that's right.
To James Earl Jones.
All right, and while we debate that, we're going to take a brief word from our sponsors. Hey guys, this is your humble host Charles, just checking in to see how things are going. Hey, did you want to go see It this weekend? You know me, I'm not the biggest fan of horror films, but if you're there with me, I think I'm going to be fine. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just finishing up the podcast right now. I'm recording this on my cell phone, so if the audio quality isn't the best, I'm not going to be pulling out my sound equipment this week to get this recorded. So sorry in advance. I'm not sure how this is going to sound until I edit it. But I'm trying to make sure that we have enough time to edit our short film Tick in the next few weeks. That comes out September 29th. Pretty much all the special effects or the visual effects are done and ready to go. I've got a couple more that I need to rock out pretty quick, but we're going to be spending time on audio, getting the soundtrack together. And that's pretty much it, and it's done, and we can move on to the next project. I'm super excited for you guys to see it. I'm so glad that you guys are liking the podcast. We've been hearing a lot of positive feedback. If you guys want to let us know how we're doing, or if you want to give us a review, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play. Just throw us a review. Let us know what you're thinking of the show. If you don't like it, we'd like to hear that too. If you'd like us to answer any of your questions, all of the information on how to contact us is in the description of this podcast. I just set up our Twitter account again. We have a business Twitter account, but it's something weird. It was something weird, like SR Media _LLC, and that's just hard to remember. So I changed it up. That information is in the description as well. As always, thank you for listening to the podcast. You all are fantastic. I always say this, but I'm super glad that you guys are listening to the podcast. It means so much to me. It means so much to the guys as well. As always, have yourselves a wonderful week, and I love you.
Welcome to Chasing the Mind.
I'm Dr. Stephanie Schwartz, kind of a science nerd.
I'm Dr. Angela Johnson. I am nerd adjacent.
The podcast that explores the art and science of the mind.
People really like us answering questions about psychological topics.
Yeah, whether it be issues they have in their lives or all manner of psychological disorders and concepts.
How do our thoughts influence our sense of who we are? How do we impact the world around us? And can changing our minds change everything?
We could even diagnose someone from a commercial if you really want us to. I have some opinions about flow. I'll just tell you that right now.
Okay, I like flow. We're going to have to throw down about flow.
You can hear Dr. Angela and Dr. Stephanie at chasingthemind.com. New episodes every Friday.
Okay,
All right, and we're back, and it's been 2 minutes and 51 seconds.
What do you mean? 2 minutes and 51 seconds. You were pushing us to get clocks ticking. We're
We need
barely
to
even
start.
halfway
Okay,
through.
so I think from here on out, we need to have it be less time.
Okay.
I think we need to say like 4 minutes
or 3
because
minutes. It's
maybe
half a 6.
Because when we have a team doing it, it does go faster.
Yeah,
it
because I
does.
kept trying to work opposite, like against you guys, but you're like, no, we'll all work together, and then we solved it.
So tell us what you came up with.
All right. So Scotty, go.
Okay, so Steve Buscemi is an actor. James Earl Jones is an actor. Boom. That's what they have in common. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot what you were playing. Steve Buscemi was in Armageddon with
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Why am I talking if you know all this stuff? He was in Armageddon with Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis was in
Expendables
3 with Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford was in a little-known movie.
It's called Star Wars.
No, I was going to say American Graffiti. What were you going to say? I'm kidding, with Star Wars.
Or
with James Earl Jones' voice.
The other or the Jack Ryan films. They were in that together.
My 6 degrees, which that's great that you guys got it in less. Mine was actually 6. It went Steve Buscemi to Happy Gilmore, Adam Sandler, or any Adam Sandler movie, to Adam Sandler.
That's what I was going to do.
Actually, Steve Buscemi wasn't in Happy Gilmore. He was in Big
Any
Daddy.
other Adam Sandler movie. Yeah.
He was in Big Daddy,
Adam
he was in,
Sandler. Adam Sandler was in.
Billy Madison.
Adam Sandler was in Happy Gilmore with Christopher McDonald, Shooter McGavin. Christopher McDonald was in Requiem for a Dream, Juice by Tappy, with Jared Leto, who was in Girl Interrupted, with Whoopi Goldberg, who was in The Lion King with James Earl Jones.
Oh my
Nice.
God.
Oh, Whoopi to Lion
Say it
King.
again.
So
Yeah, baby, Whoopi.
Here's what I think for Joel's terrible movie for the week that he has to watch. I don't think that it should be necessarily a terrible movie. Why should we make each other watch shitty movies? Why don't we do like a good movie? I'm going to make you watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil. You would absolutely love that.
It's a movie?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that next week.
You know what? I'm not even going to say anything else about it because I've overhyped it sometimes. Just watch that movie and report back to us.
Okay.
So I think that should be it.
So I think that's a good idea. I tell you what else. I think that if we have something that we enjoy a lot, that we could do that, and it's something not necessarily that they wouldn't like, but just that they've never seen. Tucker, what's it called? Tucker and
Dale versus Evil.
I will check it out.
So the whole premise
No.
Okay.
No.
I'll just watch it. I'll just watch it.
When you walk in, yeah.
You will enjoy it. I was very surprised that I enjoyed it.
What is that noise?
I think it's another time for Dance Moms Watch. Dance Moms Watch.
DMW.
DMW.
Dance Moms Watch.
Dance Moms Watch. Joel, cue us in to what has happened on this week's Dance Moms.
All right. The new teacher, Lorianne. She's choreographing very bizarre dance numbers.
Oh, okay. So what kind of, do they do a lot of pliés?
Now listen,
releves?
Listen, they are very good music video, stage performance dance numbers. They are not competition pieces. That's why they're not winning. The moms are furious. The girls are enjoying themselves, but they are not winning. Now they have to learn how to win with her choreography. But there was the week before last, one mom choked another, and that was fun.
One mom choked another mom, or choked
Yes.
another child?
Oh my
Choked another
goodness.
mom.
To death?
See,
No, she just choked. She went for her throat.
I love living my dance mom life vicariously through you. It's wonderful.
Well, and one this week, the drama this week was one Nia, who's the one original kid from the team, got traded out for another girl, and those moms kind of butted heads, and that was the drama.
Are they sponsored? Or
just on one duet number.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
They got traded to a new family.
She didn't. Lorianne, the new dance teacher, didn't think Nia could cut this new dance and wasn't doing as well, and she put the another girl in.
Oh shit! Is that why the other mom choked? The other mom?
Oh no! This was two different moms. This was the week before that the choking happened. It was my least favorite mom, and she is cross-eyed, which is also entertaining. Yolanda, and that's all for Dance Moms this week.
That is.
Tune in next week.
By the way, Yolanda, the cross-eyed mom, killer band name.
Oh, but also, how did you say, like, my least favorite?
She's my least favorite dance mom.
That should be a T-shirt.
With her ugly face on it.
Is that?
You can just give it to friends. Here you go. Oh, world's best boss. My least favorite dance mom. Hey guys, I had an idea for something a little segment that we could do. And if it works, then we'll do it only this and nothing else for the rest of our podcast. Okay. Or if it doesn't work, then we'll never do it again.
Oh, for the rest of the podcast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to change the entire podcast to be just this bit.
Okay.
There is no middle ground.
Okay. I mean, what is this idea? And let's just pretend that we didn't talk about this right beforehand.
It's not like we didn't plan it. It's called Trailer Talk. It's where we talk about trailers that we've watched because it's a little bit easier to sometimes just watch trailers than it is to watch entire movies, especially for movies that haven't come out yet.
I saw this really nice wood-paneled one that was open on the top, and
He's talking about trailers to live in with wheels, this guy. Here's the impetus for this. So I'm in a show right now, and there's a bunch of kids in the show. And these kids just keep talking about the movie It, but not the movie. They keep talking about the trailer, because they're not old enough to watch rated R movies. And it reminded me, I had literally forgotten of when I was a child and I wasn't allowed to just go watch movies. It's interesting. And so it brought up this idea of a couple questions that came from that. First of all, what trailers were better than the movie? I have a couple in my own mind. And then the second question that I had for myself was, why do I no longer like to watch trailers? Because I try not to sometimes if I like the movie.
Yeah, and me personally, I could talk for hours about this, but just to start out with, I'll give a couple of my prime examples. For one thing, trailers are not always a good indicator of the film itself.
True.
And Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is my best example of that. I distinctly remember seeing a trailer for that film and thinking, well, that movie looks stupid. I don't ever want to watch it. And then once I actually saw it, about 5 seconds into watching it, it became my favorite film of the decade. So
I remember that moment where we're like, we're going to go see this terrible movie, Scott Pilgrim. All together, there were 6 of us, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite, jerks.
I guess my invitation must have gotten lost in the mail.
Sorry. My philosophy about it, like you were saying, you don't watch trailers probably because oftentimes what they'll do is they'll use all the best material of the movie and condense it down to 2 minutes, and you're like, well, now I don't even need to see the movie.
That is exactly it.
Because it's...
Especially scary movies. That's why I hate watching trailers for scary movies, because all the good scares are in the trailer.
Yeah. And so you don't have anything surprising you when you see the film.
Something to be afraid of,
where's the mystery?
Or
and so,
little.
Example there is Cloverfield.
Okay, Cloverfield's marketing campaign was incredible.
It's almost unfair to hold just the trailers against them because they had websites that had all kinds of stuff.
It didn't even...
The whole ARG. Oh my god.
They had alternate reality.
Yeah, so the whole thing. No. Not like virtual reality.
I'm confusing with augmented reality.
So pretty much what they did is in one of the shots there was like a QR code or something like that, which sent you to like the website of the company, like a shipping container company out of Japan and stuff like that. And it just like slowly fed you this information about like something happened and the creature started coming up, and it was like all a blog from this guy who got sent to this place, and it was incredible how they marketed this. Yeah, it was super cheap. I can't recommend that kind of stuff enough. Lost did it as well with some of like in between stuff where they would like do these alternate stories about characters who were never on the island. They had a video game that came out for Lost where it was like a story about a completely different character. Yeah, I love marketing campaigns like that.
Yeah, and it was, there was so much mystery. They didn't even have a title. The title Cloverfield didn't exist until a month before the film came out.
Yeah, it was also their filming title, and they just couldn't come up with anything better, I think, is what I heard.
Well, but still, that was very intriguing. And the fact that the trailers never actually showed a full shot of the monster. So you know it's a monster movie, but you have no idea what the monster looks like. Which is
they
really,
didn't give it
really
away.
cool.
That was
They didn't give that card up. Pretty much all we knew about it was that it was shot handheld, a la a mini DV camera, and there was a monster. And that was about all you learned from the trailer, and that was perfect.
If I can be brutal, that's all the movie is anyway. I mean, there wasn't anything else to give away.
No, but it was good. It was
other than you're like, oh, look,
well
here's
done.
the guy who was holding the camera the whole time.
Yeah, and then 10 Cloverfield Lane,
Which I haven't seen yet.
I've never been blindsided by a movie before.
You never? Didn't you watch Juno? You thought it was going to be this spunky thing, and out of nowhere it has heart.
I thought it was all going to be about email.
Bawled my eyes out, that freaking movie. Did not expect
10 Cloverfield Lane is a great horror film.
Interesting.
You guys need to watch it.
I will
absolutely
now.
should.
I will now.
But yeah, they didn't even announce that a project was happening.
Oh, that's true. That was a super surprise.
Until it was about to come out.
And what's her name? Ramona Flowers is in it, for crying out loud. Full circle.
So they also have a third Cloverfield movie that's coming out in February. It's called...
That's in a few months. Are you sure they're
it's already been filmed. It's already been filmed. Everything's done with it. The idea is a bunch of astronauts go to space while also on Earth we do some experiment with the God particle, right? And kind of like blow up the God particle, and Earth disappears. So these astronauts are just stuck in space.
Oh. I've actually thought
See,
of
it sounded very
times.
unoriginal at first because it was astronauts going to space. Like, astronauts should go somewhere else.
Yeah. Why don't astronauts go to Boston? They've never been there before.
Okay. So I want to play with this in this little space we got here. I think it should be Apollo 13, right? But instead of going to outer space, they go to Boston and they get stuck in some bar.
Ooh, actually, I have an even better idea. Apollo 1776.
Oh my god!
They go up into space. They come back down. They're like, "What the musket? Son of a musket!"
Okay.
All right. And then they start rapping about it.
No. Actually, the worst part would be if they they land and they're like, "Oh no, that was Thomas Jefferson." Oh no.
Yes.
What movie trailers do you hate right now?
Well, I can't think of any that I actually absolutely hate, but I was thinking of one that I really liked, which is the Blair Witch Project. First of all, one of my favorite scary movies, scared the hell out of me. It was in the preview, they had very little actual footage from the film. They put stuff in the movie that wasn't in the trailer that wasn't in the movie. Like they have the interview they're interviewing Michael's dad. That's not in the film. They show them finding the camera. They show them finding film canisters and stuff like that. None of that happened in the film, and they just it's all not. There's no narrative. It's all just the written thing that says like 3 documentary filmmakers, blah blah blah. You know that thing. They show that, and then they show a few other text narrative things, but no one's actually speaking, telling you what's going to happen. It's all you have to read it all, and the very little dialogue that's actually in it is like, do you think the occult is involved with the disappearance of your son? And they show his dad, and he doesn't even answer. They cut it. So it's like they want you to go see the movie to see this, but it's not in the movie. So
that is genius.
Yeah,
though.
and it is. It really is. It doesn't spoil anything,
right?
And it doesn't. And it intrigues the. It
draws
intrigues.
you in.
Yeah.
Pixar did that. They did special teaser trailers that were in no way related to the actual plot of the film. I remember the Finding Nemo teaser, and it was a whole discussion between Marlin and Dory, and it was its own little short. And they did the same thing with Monsters Incorporated. They
one of my very favorite movies.
They busted into a room and had this whole discussion about, oh, this is the wrong room, blah blah blah, and
yes,
and
I remember.
Like,
yeah,
I'm going back to the
that
break room before they run out of donuts and all
yes,
this stuff that's not in the movie. So
that's good
great.
stuff.
Yeah.
Or if they get when they do stuff like that, get the real actors to come in and make little spot, even if they're just short TV spots. I think that's brilliant, and especially if you can tell it's not footage from the film. You know.
Yeah, that's how trailers should be done.
Completely off the wall, but I remember them doing that with Problem Child 2. They had the girl, because in Problem Child 2 there were 2 problem children, and they had the girl talking to the camera in the preview. I don't know why that is in my head, but that's so that's another one. Yeah,
Back to the Future as well. Not exactly. I mean, some of the shots were from the movie, but a lot of it was just dramatic close-ups and
right
things of that nature.
Yeah.
This actually brings up a very interesting part about this trailers is that especially currently where I try to avoid trailers unless it's a movie I'm not 100% sold on. I'm like, okay, I'll let them sell me. I'll watch a trailer. Oh, that does look good or whatever. That's how I ended up watching the movie The Lobster, which I recommend for a lot of people, actually. Great. Because I was like,
it's on Amazon Prime for free. You guys, if you haven't, watch it.
We can absolutely talk about that movie.
The Lobster.
The Lobster.
The Lobster.
It's one of the best things I've ever seen with Colin Firth.
Can I pitch this movie really quick?
Sure, go ahead.
So The Lobster is set in this weird, strange, not Earth, where when you
it's Earth.
Well, it's Earth, but it's a different world. It's kind of supernatural. Pretty much what happens if you...
Surreal is how I describe it. I don't mean to interrupt.
If you don't find your partner, if you don't get married, if you're single, right? By the time
you have to find your true love.
Yeah, if you don't find your true love by the time you're 40, 35?
I don't remember what the age
But, okay.
was, but basically there's a punishment.
You get to be turned into the animal of your choice.
You have to be turned into the animal of your choice.
Okay.
And the part that makes it super weird is that if then you suddenly find yourself single, if you suddenly find yourself single, like if you get divorced or if your spouse dies, you have 30 days to find the new love of your life, or boom, you're turned into an animal. Because that's your second chance to find love as a dog, as a cat, as an elephant, as a lobster.
Interesting. Okay.
And it is a very interesting commentary on
Love and relationships.
both when you're in a relationship and both when you're not in a relationship, and how you view the other side. It was a fascinatingly deep movie for such a surreal and on the surface kind of silly subject matter. It was actually very deep.
It makes me think of that episode of Friends, honestly. He's her lobster.
Oh, that's right. I guess I did hear that.
Yeah.
That's a very poor
And so
impression of
there is
Phoebe Cates, though. I'd have to
Yes,
point that out.
it is. Lisa Kudrow deserves better.
She deserves better. God damn it.
She does deserve a better impression done of her. But yeah, just that metaphor of the fact that lobsters are life mates and
they live for 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
But this all brought up an interesting idea of how, because I don't think of trailers that often, when I allow myself to access the part of my brain and I just go into the file under trailers, Joel, the same thing. All these thoughts are coming to my mind of all these trailers I saw when I was a kid that I never would have thought I even retained memories of. And it's interesting to think, and the question for next time, I think, would be like, what are some trailers from your childhood for movies that you didn't watch or weren't allowed to watch that now you're like, I should reward myself by finally watching Arachnophobia or whatever that I never got around to watching, but I kind of wanted to as a kid. A bunch of movies like that. It'd be interesting to think of.
I remember the Night of the Living Dead trailer because they said Night of the Living Dead about 4,000 times. And every time the pause got longer, it would say, the first time it was like, Night of the Living Dead. By the end of the trailer, it was Night 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the Living Dead.
and there was an extra emphasis on the last D.
Yes,
Dead.
for sure. Like the blob.
What we should make, you guys, is a trailer for a movie.
I swear to God, that's actually one of the smartest ideas ever because I've thought of it myself. What you need to start doing, one of my plan ideas is just to write trailers and make them
and not make the movie.
Throw all the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks, and then be like, now we have a Kickstarter. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So
Now
okay.
let's do it. And
if we're gonna play with this idea, I think it should be, we're gonna make a trailer and we're gonna voice it. We're gonna do everything for this trailer for something that's already been created, something that doesn't necessarily have the best trailer.
So we have to pick a movie that already had a bad trailer to begin with. Oh well, like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, you had already mentioned.
Scott Pilgrim would be good.
I think you could just re-edit though and show some good parts.
Yeah, it would be a benefit to actually shoot new footage for a trailer for that film.
Just voices.
But here's another idea that we can go down, because I've been watching a lot of fake trailers for things. Mm-hmm. Like for instance,
High School Musical.
No, that's not the direction.
They recut Elf to be a horror film. And
Elf to be a horror one. Mary Poppins to be a horror. They recut The Shining to be a family comedy.
Oh, and it was hilarious. Yes, it's the family film or something.
Let's do that. It's super topical right now. Let's turn it.
Well, that already exists.
Sunscreen.
It already exists.
Or should we go for a different Stephen King thing? Just because it might be overdone, and we're just gonna be white noise.
There's Carrie. There's Christine.
We can do Carrie as
Pet
a rom-com.
Cemetery. Yeah, or
there's date stuff. There's boys talking to girls. There's whispers.
You
think
know,
so and so likes her.
Piper Laurie. She thought the film was a comedy, and
what? She locks her daughter in the stairs and everything.
she thought it was a comedy.
Oh my God! What a crazy.
And I think that's part of the reason why her character is so creepy. She's not trying too hard. So I don't know. That could work for a family film somehow.
We're going to use our voices to do all these. I think
so you're talking about taking existing trailers and just doing our own funny voiceovers and music stuff?
We're going to,
because usually they recut it to use different shots.
Right. But we're just going to like radio show this trailer, but with our own voices.
Okay.
We're not going to even watch the trailer before we do this. We're just going to
so it's not even going to be like a bad lip reading. It's going to
town.
be like, no, because bad lip reading is actually really good lip reading.
Right.
This is going to be just bad.
Yep. I like this.
So 'cause that'll be easier, because that way we can do like 50 in a row if we want.
I think we can pretty much just tell the story of Carrie. You know, it's like some basic things. Like, Carrie was a high school sweetheart in her last year of high school.
Or like a late bloomer, she's finally becoming a woman. Because she has her period. And
Defying everybody in school and defying her mother, Carrie goes out into the world to learn a valuable lesson. And that lesson is... don't fucking kill people. So I'm gonna narrate. Joel's gonna do the voice of John Travolta. Scotty's gonna be Miss Carrie, and possibly Michael's gonna be other voices, and so he could be the mom, and he's going to do sound effects.
Oh my God, Carrie.
I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, so...
This is why it's going to be great.
Okay.
So I'm gonna set up like minor scenes for you. We have to solve those scenes in a trailer format really, really quick.
Okay.
So, Scotty, start us off with some trailer music. In the spring of 1976, we've got... okay, I screwed...
That's okay. We had one that was done.
Are we going to start this over every single time?
Well, no, I already did one phrase, so now you just started at the same.
In the spring of 1976, we meet our heroine, Carrie, and her lover, John Travolta. I don't know the character's name. Yeah, John Travolta.
Oh my God, Carrie, let's go to the prom, baby.
I'm becoming a woman.
Unfortunately for Carrie, her mother is involved as well.
Carrie! Mom!
Carrie sneaks around her mother. Wait, Michael's the sound effect, so let's be real here. So, Carrie sneaks around her mother, trying to go to the prom.
We hope she doesn't hear me.
So now Carrie's turned into
Carrie, are you in your room?
So this is kind of turned... I love this idea of doing Carrie as the Muppets.
Oh, I always love to cast shows or movies or musicals with the Muppets. Always.
Okay. I know. Okay, we'll do that. Get out of here. We'll do a Muppets theme episode.
You don't want to see me upset.
Oh, Carrie, don't kill me with your telekinesis there. Oh no! Hiya! There we go.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, back to the trailer. One little problem also comes around. Carrie has a secret power: telekinesis.
I'm becoming a woman.
Maybe.
I'm a horrible person.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Oh my God, Carrie, did you just make something fly across the room, baby? I almost died.
I was thinking of changing the color in this room to red.
Starring Sissy Spacek as Carrie White. And Piper Laurie as her mother.
Carrie, are you still seeing that hooligan? Mom!
And in his first major motion picture, John Travolta as Billy Nolan.
Hey, Carrie, be sure to tune in to Welcome Back, Kotter. You know.
Coming this November to theaters near you.
To select theaters.
Oh, Carrie!
There it is.
That's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Thank you so much for sharing with your friends, giving us reviews on iTunes, letting us know what questions you want us to answer. All of that is very much appreciated, and we have information on how to do that in the description of this podcast. As always, I am your host, Charles Joseph Kelly. Should we bring it back to the beginning? I'm your host, Charles Joseph Kelly.
Yes.
And as always, I'm here working the knobs.
Man, I was really close to the microphone when I guffawed there.
The volume knobs is what I meant to say, and Mikeal C. Macbeth on the knobs.
And me, as even more, as always, Scotty Schaefer.
So, this is Joel signing off. The end of the podcast.
And thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, write me letters if you're a Dance Moms fan, too.
Write me, like, actual letters?
And if you're
emails.
on Dance Moms, just write him anything.
Thank you so much for listening, and have yourselves a wonderful week.